Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. And in this one we're continuing our run. We have a structural component. I forget exactly what we're hauling. I think it's part of a conveyor belt. It's a fairly short run, only $17,000, but considering we are at negative $585, we need this run. If you don't already know, the last two runs I did, because of updating mods and switching out trailer mods for updated versions as well, my runs were not counted, and they ended up being erased, which is okay. Adversity happens, things like that happen in the real world, so we're just gonna run with it. That's what we're looking at. We're just gonna run with it. And I have no idea why my directional's on or anything like that, but now we are already hooked up to the trailer. We already rested. Must have lights. Oops. Hi. Don't know why we're in 7th. Hi. Can you all stop coming for a minute so I can pull out, please? Thank you. So my upload speed's screwed up again, but not horribly. It's running at about 1 instead of the 1.3 it's supposed to. I know that my IP provider is not going to be eccentrically happy with me, but I did I sent an email asking for them to look into the upload speed and please return it to the 1.4 I'm supposed to be getting. And I also sent in that I realize that you may not think the difference between a 1 and a 1.4 is that much, but the reality is that it is that much. When uploading to YouTube, it can mean the difference between an hour-long upload and a 30-minute upload. And when you're uploading larger files, which these games tend to be, it can mean the difference between an hour and a half upload and a 4-hour upload. So, but hopefully we can complete this run. Hopefully we can complete this run in this video. We've got less than 600 miles to go, so it should be possible. It should be possible. And it doesn't look like there's any major obstacles on this run. There's no major climbs or anything like that. There may be like one little steep climb on a sharp corner. I think we may have transversed one already. I'm not sure, but shouldn't be too bad. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm lower in this truck than I should be. I feel like I should be sitting higher up. Feels really weird. Maybe it's because I haven't played in a little while. Oh, we're going over where I like to keep my speed, which it's really not going to matter because we're swapping highways already, which kind of sucks. This has kind of been the definition of this run, if I remember correctly, is that we run into, we finally get up to some cruising speed, and then we're forced to slow it down because we're switching highways. We're just plain switching roads. I really hope that the medical supplies I ordered come soon. I'm looking forward to those gloves to help the circulation in my hands. Although today they've actually been pretty good. Today I feel a little weird, if that makes sense. Today makes week 3 of the cutback on eating healthy, and I actually feel okay. But it's strange. My body feels cooler which I actually went through this once before, and it kind of meant at the time that circulation had returned to my extremities, to my, to my feet, my toes, my fingers. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing a little bit today, although the very tip of my left index finger is still feeling numb. I have a doctor's appointment on the... Thank you, I would have come up with that. My wife being helpful. You know, I realized that that might sound like I was being condescending, and I wasn't. Damage control before it happens.
Good man, well taught.
But I'm going to ask her to check into it, because it constantly it'll either feel like numb, or it'll be like a very light pins and needles constantly, and that really bothers me. Yeah, I see that I've gotten up around 105, but again, it doesn't matter. We're getting off of this highway now. This is rather annoying. It's a shame that those 2 runs really didn't count, because those would have been working towards getting upgrades. Preferably a new engine, but I honestly wouldn't mind updating my cab now to get a taller cab. But I'd much rather have the engine than the cab. At least we were able to stay in 14th. I mean, we didn't have to shift out of that. A little bit of an S-curve here, not a big deal. We should be able to handle this at speed. Should, without problem. Because what we're hauling's not overly heavy. And we do have the 6x4x2 chassis, which gives us some extra stability outside of the 4x2. So... I was just watching this video. It came out not too long ago. It was about the newest big Volvo, the new FH. And switching roads again. They were seeing how it would perform in Australia as a road train truck, and it actually performed really well. Yeah, I really don't like the fact that there's a car there. Now, mind you, my truck would probably be on its side right about now, but we made it. Alright, we gotta be careful here, because if not, we could get T-boned. I've had that happen a few times. Because apparently things coming down off that ramp actually have the right of way. I'm way too high in gear. And as I was saying, the FH performed admirably, hauling road train hauling about 82 tons. I guess they called it a Class B. That being it had 2 short trailers and 1 long trailer on the end, or something like that. And I don't deny that Volvo is a good truck. And the fact that I drive it on my showcase, and I used it to start my company on my showcase, says it's a good truck. But I can't lie when I say that I much prefer the Scania. And the things that Scania coming up with are just as good as what Volvo's putting out. You know, the transmission, the automatic transmission and whatnot. You know, I've been actually looking into it more. Granted, I'll never have a hope or a prayer of ever driving one of these trucks, but I am starting to keep touch a little bit more with what these trucks are capable of, what they're doing, and what companies are planning. And you know, the fact that Volvo has gone through so much to do all of these outrageous campaigns that they did, with, of course, the most popular being the Jean-Claude Van Damme most epic of splits. You know, kind of says a lot that they're really trying to make their truck and their innovations known. But I still can't help but think that's because, well, when it comes to trucks, it comes to Euro trucks, you think of Scania. I mean, not trying to be mean or anything like that, but there's basically two major truck sims out right now. Way too high, way too high. Okay. Yeah, I panic shift there. It's okay. There's basically two major truck sims that people play right now. The first and most popular, of course, is the one I'm playing right here, Euro Truck. But the second one that I actually kind of knew about, although I never went back and I've never tried it, is Scania Driving Simulator, where it's just all about Scania. Now, there is no Volvo Driving Simulator. So, to me, that kind of says which truck is the most popular. And if you look at the skins that are made for the different trucks, you know, there's a lot of skins that are coming out for the Volvo FH, but they actually don't compare in terms of numbers to the number of skins that come out for the Scania now. And the interesting thing is, despite the fact that the Scania Streamline has released, so, you know, despite the fact that the Scania Streamline has released in Euro Truck, the truck that I'm driving now, and I'm one of those many that are on board with this, the truck that I'm driving right now, the Scania R, the 2009, still remains the most popular truck, at least in terms of simulating driving, when it comes to Euro Truck. And I'm going to assume, in reality, now that's not to say, like I've said before, that other trucks are bad. They're not. I actually have a soft spot in my heart for Renault, despite the fact that in terms of high-end trucks, yeah, I still cut the grass on that one, but I kind of figure I had to, because I was worried about the car that was behind me, thinking, oh, I can go, because I wasn't in the lane, and yeah, I couldn't have that happen. But I just think that speaks for itself, you know. As I was saying, I actually kind of like Renaults. I actually like the Mercedes, the Actros. I like those, even though in this one they're called Majestics, because I guess they couldn't get the official license. I even like MAN trucks. You know, I think if I didn't pick Scania first, I'd have been driving MAN trucks. And MAN trucks, you know, they're only slightly less powerful. They're not that far off. They're about 52 less horsepower and then 28 less horsepower. It's 52 less horsepower than the Volvo and 28 less horsepower than the Scania in terms of its most powerful vanilla engine. I'm trying to think of what else. I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah, but the Newton meters, pretty much remain the same. The Scania's got a little bit, not the Scania, but the Volvo's got a little bit more, I think, but the Scania remains about the same. And the torque really matters on a truck, much more than it, matters than horsepower matters. Torque is all about that low down grunt pull, which is what trucks need to get up to where horsepower matters. As far as I understand it, anyways. So there's that, and then there's the fact that it has probably the biggest and best view of a windshield. It's probably the widest truck, and that in and of that itself, even in a 4x2 state, it's one of the most stable. Yeah? It's one of the most stable trucks that you can get. It's probably the most stable truck that you can buy in any state. In other words, if you compare the Volvo FH with the Scania and the MAN truck is probably, at least game-wise, the most stable in 4x2, 6x4x2, and 6x4 chassis. So, take it for what you will. I like all the trucks, except, and I'm going to be straight here, it's not that I dislike the truck, but I have no love for it. With each of the other trucks in the game, I have a love for them, at least to some degree or another. There's 3 trucks in the game that I don't hate, but I don't have love for. I'm just going to be straight with you. And if this didn't become evident through my high-end truck and beginner truck reviews, then, or if you're new and you haven't seen those videos, this is a quick breakdown of my worst 3 trucks that you could start with. And even if the Renault Magnum has problems high-end, you can still mod those out. So probably the truck I like the least, if I'm going to be completely honest with myself. I don't hate it, mind you, but just keep in mind this is, I don't have any real love for it, is the Renault Premium. I just don't like it. I just, there's nothing about it that's, makes it a good truck. I don't know how else to put it. I just don't like the Renault Premium. You're complaining about, oh no, actually I made money and I'm actually in the positive now, 357. Way to go, Emily. Yeah, Emily, that's it. Emily's my driver. Way to go, Emily. Coming through for me in the pinch finally. But let me make this corner here, at least try to make it. What the hell did I just hook up on? You see that? It looks like I'm hooked up on the guardrail. Oh. Uh-oh. I think I just hooked up on the sign. Uh-oh. I think I'm in trouble. Well, no, I made it. Now I gotta get on the right side of the road. Okay, this is interesting. But I think we're just gonna try and bullet through. Come on. Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, that's not what that's exactly what I didn't want happening. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that. Okay, okay. We've got traction. We've got traction. Wow. Okay, lesson learned on that corner. Lesson learned on that corner. Wow. Got hooked up on the sign is what happened. I'm an idiot for not seeing that. You know why? This is straight with you, and I know I'm getting off topic here, and I'll get back to the trucks in a second. But I'm not used to trailers not making it under signs and under streetlights. I'm just not used to that. All the trailers that have been modded and all that and everything that I've driven have always made it. So, that's a first. That's not a bug. That my trailer was legitimately too tall for that sign. So that's why I ended up with that little fiasco. And hopefully I didn't do too much damage. Okay, no damage. At least no damage it's showing. Sometimes it'll say no damage, and I'll get there and it'll say, oh, it's 10%. What? A little bit slower. There we go. But I was just saying, yeah, the Renault Premium, there's just... I have no love for it. I really don't. I don't hate it. It's a decent truck, and with some mods, it can be a pretty good truck, but even mod-wise, I never found a chassis for it. It remains a 4x2 truck. I found engines and stuff that made it look cool. Oh, that was probably the longest pause I've had in a while. But I've never actually found... Little careful. Alright, yeah, we're fine. I never actually found a multi-wheel chassis for it. The next truck that I don't like, if I'm to be completely honest with myself, is the Iveco Stralis. That's all there is to it. Again, the Iveco Stralis, there's nothing about it that makes it stand out. Despite the fact that it should be a decent truck starting, and that for some reason it isn't, I think speaks volumes. I've had lots of people actually send me messages talking about... I really don't want to risk a ticket here, so I'll keep my speed down. I've had plenty of people contact me with little letters and messages and whatnot, talking about how the Iveco is really just, it's a poor truck in terms of a starting truck. It's very, it's very weak, and it is. And even as a high-end truck, it's fairly weak. And that, of course, brings me to the third truck, which, of course, is the Iveco Stralis Highway, which I feel the exact same about. The only difference between the Iveco and the Iveco Highway is you can't buy the Iveco Highway till you're up higher in levels. So it just comes with a more powerful engine. But that's it, which you can upgrade an Iveco to match an Iveco Highway. So to me, the only thing different with an Iveco and Iveco Highway is it comes in orange. I don't know the real specs between the differences. I really don't. But in terms of this simulator game, I don't see many differences between the Iveco and the Iveco Highway. I truly don't. Yeah, I was a little concerned about all this, kind of like city driving here, but it looks like we'll be fine. We've got less than 200 miles to go. We still got about half our endurance meter to go. So we should be fine, to be honest. Hopefully we can make this light. Nope. Oh well. Good time to hop out and take another look at our truck. I actually still do have the free cam available to me if I want. That bug, man, where the paint actually goes up onto the tire still bothers me. It's actually dark out. I'm gonna pop the lights on. All right. Oops. I always do that. I always do that and I forget. There we go. Oop, time to go. You know what I want to do? For those of you that saw my video of my epic Volvo FH16 hill climb towing 70 tons, where I actually had to drop all the way back to first gear. I had to drop all the way back to first gear towards in some areas, and towards the end it got so steep that I actually, even with a 750 horsepower, 35-ish hundred Newton meter engine behind me, was worried that I wouldn't make the tow. Even then, I still made it. That was an awesome freaking video, man. And I gotta tell you, what I want to do is I honestly want to find that hill climb again, and I want to get a Scania, and I want to do it on my showcase, honestly. I want to get a Scania, fully upgraded, and haul it up that same mountain. Use the vanilla power engines. I wouldn't use any extra high-end powered engines. Use the vanilla 730 horsepower engine and just drive it up that same hill with this sound file. I think that would be freaking awesome. And do it during the day. That was one of the things that marred that video, is I had to make that climb at night. If I had thought about it, I actually had the time, I would have actually rested. I would have rested before making that climb. So I would have been doing it during the day. Yeah, our fuel's a little low. There's no doubt about that. Our fuel's a little bit down there. But we get enough to make the run. And if I have to, I could always stop and put $357 in. And if I come across a gas station, to be honest with you, I just might. Just to make sure I can make a gas station wherever we end up. I don't get like the plowed looking field here in between the flowers on these heavy slopes. Because it's like, well, what the hell are you planting? Hmm? That don't quite make sense. More highway swapping, man. This run's evil in terms of trying to get any momentum built up at all. Starting to get the hang of the trainee a little bit better, finally. Even though I haven't played for a little while. I know I'm close to that guardrail, but I gotta make sure that trailer makes the swing, which it almost didn't. And then we gotta, we gotta swap highways again. I actually do hope we come across a fuel station. Just so I could put that little bit extra in. This looks like a climb for this ramp. At least this is one of the easier curb ones, so I can just hit it at speed, and we should be fine. Use the momentum for climb and come out on the top. Yeah, proper gear. The only drawback to the diet that I've been having is energy. I've been tired. Like I sleep. I already have a bit of trouble sleeping because I get really sore on my side if I sleep, for a few hours in a single position. This has never happened to me before, so I don't understand why it's happening now. And so I roll over into the other position for a little while, and it's okay for a little while. Then I roll back. It's basically become like a routine at night. I know we're going to cut the grass on this one, but I just want to make sure that there's nothing there that would adversely affect me. I don't think we're going to find a fuel station, which I'm not worried about getting there. We'll get there. I'm worried about when we hook up to another trailer. Now we're going to run out of fuel coming back the other way. I know I'm quiet right now, so I'm aha, ha, 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 ha. I'm sorry, every time I get that, I do get the corny urge to go all Gandalf on it. You shall not pass! Can't help it. I'm a nerd. There's an easy way to tell if I'm going to pass a fuel station or not. Oh, and luckily, we're not. Fortunately, there is one here. So what I may do is I'm going to go and then drop the trailer and the video, then go and fuel up, and then return to the town. Is what I'm going to be looking to do. Because running empty, I get much more distance out of the fuel that I have. And there's no promise that the run that I take from that town is going to go in the direction of the fuel station. So I like to go to the fuel station, fuel up, and then head back to the town. So what I'll do is I'll get there, we'll drop it off, we'll head for the garage, we'll repair, we'll rest, we'll basically choose what trailer we're going to haul next. Then we'll run for the fuel No, I'm going to get there. I'm going to drop the trailer. And then I'm going to rest because I'm going to have to and repair. Then I'm going to go out, fuel up, return to the town. Then I'll record a little snippet at the end, I think, which will be the best for what trailer we're going to haul. Whoa. Yeah, that corner snuck up on me a little bit. Yay for slow traffic. I love how the speed limit says 60. We're not doing 60. Well, we are speeding up a little bit, I gotta say that much. We were until we hit this corner. It's like, ooh, I must go really slow. Right. Your truck isn't that fragile, dude. Please do me the favor and go right. Please do me the favor and go right. This is still a big trailer. I'm sorry. Yeah, see, we're not going to make that. As much as I hate the idea. My vision's going to go all screwy here for a minute because I'm readjusting my mouse wire. Which I probably shouldn't have. There we go. No, it's still all screwed up. I'll have to fix it later, but at least now I got it stable. It's just all twisted, and I need to untwist it. And you're going this way, unfortunately. I'm not going to have the time to pass him, I don't think. Although I'm making a good case for it. Look at that big tanker trailer right there. I wouldn't mind hauling that at some point. Please don't give me a speeding ticket. I need my money. In most cases, as long as you're 50 or under, in an area like this, you won't get a ticket, but there are times where it's as low as 30. So you have to be careful with that. Yeah, I can't afford a $1,500 fine here. I need these cars to get frickin' rolling. Move! Oh, thank God. At least now I can get a little cruise speed on, you know, city cruise speed. Should be fine. Oops. Adjusted a little high there. Probably going to clip the edge, but that's alright at this point. At this point I want to hurry a little bit because I need to rest. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to make it back to the garage to rest. I'm going to rest right there at that hotel. I feel like I don't have much choice. Looks like I could pull in either spot, but I don't want to risk it. Ooh! So what do? Screw it up even further. Because sometimes I just hit the wrong... You know, sometimes I just hit the wrong button. You know, kind of in a panic. Kind of in a panic, but kind of not in a panic. Looks like we'll have some interesting loads going out. At the very least, if this shows anything. Careful, careful, careful. Ah, come on. This is not going to be a good back in, to say the least. But I may get lucky. Before we go too far, because that's exactly what's going to happen there. I didn't adjust back in time, so I was oversteering again. Good enough. Alright. Let's get to our rest point before we, hopefully before we get fined. Alright, we're back in the positive. Even if we get fined, we'll still be in the positive, but I'd rather not lose the 1,500. To be honest with you. Oh, snap. Oh well, we're going to the garage to rest. I forgot the overpass versus the underpass, man. Out of my way! Lights are being kind to us. The entrance is actually over here. I almost didn't see that and just went straight. Whew, we made it. Alright, so from here, I'm going to go and get to that fuel station and fuel up. Then I'm going to come back to the service station and service, and then I'm going to record to let you know what trailer we're going to take next. So I'll catch you folks, well, for you instantly, for me in about 10 minutes. And we are back. As you can see, I have a full tank of gas, and we are going to check at what trailer we are going to haul next. Alright, so we are here in Rajika, and I got it lined up by route weight, route length. I want price per distance. I want the most value for what I'm hauling. Now, sadly enough, it looks like the best valued is the Caterpillar with that. And actually, that looks like kind of an interesting haul. That looks like either a hell of a hill climb or just one hell of a very windy road. And that is 25 tons. That's for 16,000. This is a short run at 35 tons, but I'm not interested in a run that short. And there doesn't seem to be much else. Not well priced anyways. Yeah, there's not going to be anything big there. So, there's this, but nah. And I haven't been to that country before. This is 13 tons, and that goes that goes into England. I will go there eventually. I'm just not ready to yet. I just hate driving on the opposite side of the road because I constantly forget, and it's really annoying. Yeah, I think we'll take the Caterpillar 422 and the 938G, the front loader and the backhoe, and we will take those into Africa through Tunis, and looks like we'll be going to Radaif? I ain't ever gonna get that right. But anyways, that's the run we'll take. And actually, we got an interesting here. It is a heavy, oversized load, and it is an important delivery, which means it's a speedy delivery. So we will have to keep that in mind as well. So, Alright, folks, that's going to be me done for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Until next time, this is going to be One Big Bugger signing out, and I'll see you on the road.